back in the room.
Welcome back.
Today is episode 8.
Number 8.
8.
Just 2 more off that 10, baby.
That's it, nearly there.
Exciting though today. Very exciting episode.
It is indeed, because today we have our first ever
Special guests.
And we've got 2 of them.
2. Not just 1. 2.
And who are they?
They are our lovely friends, Leah and Leanne. Leah is my oldest bestie. We met when I was 10. And Leanne is her wonderful partner, who actually also went to school with us. So I've known them for many years, and you have known them for a solid 2.
Yes, and most importantly, you've done a lot of drinking with them.
I have done a lot of drinking with them, yes, over the years.
We wanted to get it from a bit of a different perspective, which is why we invited them on.
Yeah.
We wanted to get it from the friend's perspective when the other friend stops drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Get their thoughts on what we're doing.
Yeah. And just find out a bit more about how your friends actually perceive it when you go sober.
Definitely. It's definitely a big fear when you're about to go sober. How's it going to change the friendship group?
Yeah.
I'm fully aware not everybody's friends are going to be like Leah and Leanne. Mm-hmm. Everybody's different. Mm-hmm. But I think it's still really good to get their side
of the story.
And it was a really good episode.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, please give us a follow, please give us a like, please give us a reshare.
Do all the stuff.
Do all the stuff and get in touch, say hello. We like to hear from you. But yeah.
Without further ado.
Over to episode 8.
Let's go.
So, obviously, thanks for coming on. Like, we really appreciate it. And I think we wanted to do this to kind of show a different side, didn't we, I guess, to like what we've been doing so far.
Well, yeah, we obviously we want to get guests on anyway, so it's a good easing in for us as well. Yeah. Because I imagine if you were just 2 complete strangers sat there now,
it'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It'd be even more
not
awkward.
ready.
We're being a bit awkward.
I feel like I've been I'm like, all my angst are coming out.
I've already scolded you with coffee.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, just wait there.
It took us 45 minutes to get set up where it normally takes us 2. So
it's a little learning curve for us, and hopefully
we messed it up for you though to start with. Like, don't film us. All right, film us.
Make me famous.
We'll get another camera then.
I've actually brought my own camera.
Brilliant.
But yeah, so we wanted to kind of try something different, test out if we could do this. And I think, obviously, we've been friends for a long time, and it'd be a good opportunity to talk through some of the things that we've been talking about anyway, but with people that know us. And
we knew you before, and we know you.
Yeah.
This journey.
Get it from your side.
Yeah.
Let's hear your side for a change.
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais moment.
What was it?
No, I don't know. I thought it was a bit Ricky-esque. See it from their side. I could just cut that out.
So should we... So I guess, how should we start?
Well, why are they here?
Why are we here?
Why are they here?
Why are we here?
Well, I guess to talk about the journey that more so me in it. So Leah,
yes,
who are you?
I am your best friend.
You are.
We lived on the same street. We met in year 7.
We did,
didn't we?
Yeah.
Most importantly,
yeah,
got pissed together.
We did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Well, not when we were in year 7.
No.
We saved
it was in, it was in school though. I think, wasn't it? So.
Yeah. No, but we've known each other, best friends, known each other since we was 10.
We started the drinking journey together, didn't we?
We did.
I probably thrust that upon you a little bit. There
we go. It's all her fault.
Yeah. I was the bad influence, I think.
Yeah.
You were. I'm thinking you were quite reserved though, as a youngster, weren't you? Like,
yeah, I was. I was a little tubby.
No.
Oh, I was.
Don't
Come
say
on,
that.
we're not gonna avoid it. Wait, before we go to me though, and then Leanne, also do introduce yourself.
I am Leah's girlfriend.
Yes.
But we also went to school together.
We also went to school. We're all in the same year.
I think we ended up at a few parties as well, probably.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Parties in school, but yeah.
So we've been intertwined for a long time.
Very long time, yeah.
Yeah. So we knew each other from being 10, and then started drinking. I think you probably started before me. Maybe. Actually, I don't know, because I started with another friend. My first experience was on, I know.
Another friend.
Another bad influence on me. I started then. But I was probably a bit more, I wouldn't say I was shy, but I was quite naive, I think.
Yeah. I don't think you was as interested in it as...
No.
Which is good, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But,
well, how do you feel like you
the very
started?
first time I drank or got drunk was at my grandma's 80th birthday party. Or was it a 70th? It was at a grandma.
We saw a picture of it the other day, Leah, with a blue WKD.
And I was there with a Wicked, and that was how it started. But, no, like when, was it probably maybe year 8, year 9?
9, I think it was me.
When we wanted to, like, maybe drink on the streets.
Yeah.
Get someone to go in the shop for us.
Yeah.
Get us a bottle. And then just go and hang out on the park.
Which is still amazing that we're able to do that.
That is outrageous.
Like, week after week as well.
Yeah.
Can you remember what it was like the first time? Can you remember properly how much you enjoyed it or how much you didn't enjoy it?
The very first time, though, I don't really remember the evening, I don't think. Cause that was...
Because you were so drunk?
Yeah. Because I didn't know my limits or anything. You just was drinking.
I remember my first time on the park, so Chatterton Park.
Yeah.
I remember feeling like dizzy, and I panicked because I felt dizzy.
Yeah.
And the person that I was with was like pushing me to drink more.
Yeah.
Because I think I had like a big bottle of Wicked.
Yeah.
And they were like pushing me to drink more.
Supportive.
So I did. Really supportive. Yeah, because I remember going up to her and being like, I don't know if I feel it. She's like, that's what it's meant to feel.
Yeah.
And then I obviously I finished my big bottle of Wicked.
Yeah.
And I really didn't feel good.
No.
After it.
I feel like drinking when you were younger, the aim was to get as drunk as you can.
Yeah.
People would be like, neck this bottle of WKD and spin round, you get drunker.
Yeah.
Put a straw in it.
Flick cigarette ash in it.
Yeah.
Spinning around, I do remember doing that.
It was like drinking
Bottle
was for
of
a different
Lamborghini.
reason.
Drink some vodka, then drink some Coke
Yeah.
afterwards. Then drink some vodka, and then drink some...
Yeah.
Put a straw in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. And then...
Torpedo.
Yeah,
Torpedo. I mean, literally, there was a lot of thought and creativity that went into getting
actually getting as drunk as you
It
can.
was such like a big event, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it was so important, and like it was basically what the weekends were for, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was, and that's it. It was like every weekend.
Yeah.
Every single
But
weekend.
I thought it was very exciting when you're younger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
like what everyone
yeah.
else is doing, and it's like, what's going to happen tonight? Who's
To
going
the
to kiss
end,
who?
yeah.
Are we going to get drink? Or will they not go in the shop for us?
Yeah.
Like, where are we going to end up?
Well, it was exciting because it was illegal. We knew we shouldn't have been
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
it.
that's
Like,
it.
what else did we really have to do?
Yeah.
Because everyone else was drinking. It was like, well, I'll join in. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
the only one that sits there and says, I'm going to stick to my Diet Coke tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me as well, it was like it gave me such a superpower, did drinking, like in terms of like confidence and how I felt I fit into my social group. If I wasn't drinking, I was shy.
Yeah.
I felt like I was maybe easier to bully because I
Yeah.
wasn't as confident and like, you know, whereas when I had a drink, I was just sort of, I felt like I had a superpower. I felt like I could do and say whatever I wanted, and if people were laughing at me or whatever, I could just give it back, and I was, you know, I felt like it made me funnier and better, and
I definitely feel that as well.
Yeah.
so that's where the hook came for me. That's where it was like, well, I can't go back to just being myself now.
Yeah.
Now that I've tasted the sweet nectar.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you? Because I didn't have anyone there to tell me like, oh, it's because you need to work on some things, and you know, it's not normal to.
You're actually masking things.
Yeah, you're actually, you know, you're actually, you know, probably like a bit traumatized by some things, and you know, you're suffering that way.
Yeah.
It was like, no, this works. I'm going to do more of it.
Keep doing it.
Yeah. So it's.
I think like I'm just thinking about like with my like now you just said that like when I was a bit because I was probably a bit more reserved, especially in like the first year. I think I was a bit more I was cautious. But I think when my thing flipped, because I was a bit bigger when I was younger, and I did struggle, and like, you know, there was not nice things said, and like, and I kind of went through, I'd probably say from year 7 till like mid-year 10, I suffered quite a lot with that stuff. But then I lost weight quite quickly. And I think that's where everything shifted for me, because I was like growing in confidence more so in myself. So then alcohol, and well, two sides, like alcohol then probably helps me with my like inhibitions and my body confidence more. So I felt more confident as I was losing weight, as I was like starting to kind of, boys were starting to then, I started to get attention and stuff like that. And that was like end of year 10 going into year 11, weren't it?
Yeah.
So I think that's when everything with me really shifted, and I started definitely getting very drunk.
Definitely with the shift.
With the vodka.
Yeah, like college years and stuff. You definitely were different to old school Bethany. You're a little bit more wild and out there, and I felt more responsible for you on nights out. Like, you know, if there was anyone that might drink a little bit too much and be run off somewhere or lose a shoe or whatever, it'd be you.
Yeah, but that's it, isn't it? Like the way that I would always describe me in our friendship group is the one that would go too far or would end up disappearing and running home, or ran home with no shoes on in snow. Why did I do that? Do you remember that?
But you never used to be like that though. You were the cautious, careful one when we were younger. So it's crazy how it's just switched. Yeah.
Because I think actually now I probably am that person. Yeah. Like I am more cautious, and I am a bit like where I'd never like do anything illegal. I'd never like cause an argument. I'd never be confrontational, really. If I've had a drink, I'll be I remember like when we went out to a gig once, and like there were girls behind us like pushing us, and they were pushing Hayley, and they kept pushing Hayley. So I'm like Mrs. Big Bollocks apparently, and like put myself in the way of this other woman, and like end up kicking off with her. And then I remember another time where I was kicking off in a bar that we were in Manchester, but like that's so I would never do that ever, and it's so weird.
And I think that's where alcohol can become a problem for people who behave so differently to the normal self, and that's where a lot of the like shame and guilt and regret comes in, because if you're someone that doesn't fight or whatever, and you're kicking off with people, and then because you don't know, they might have known you, and then they find out who you are, and then they put it on you the day after, and you're like, oh sorry, I don't fight.
If I see him the next day, I'd be like, I'm sorry.
That wasn't me.
And that's where you get that regret then, like you know, that's where your behaviour when you're drunk doesn't align with the life, align with yourself. And a lot of the time, that's where I struggle, because I'd be dancing on tables and like chatting to everyone in the pub. And it was good in the sense of on the night I'd make some new mates, or well, you know, your new mates, and then you know you'd have this wild bit of fun. But then I'd see them in the street, or like I might bump into them one day during the week, and then like, oh, you're right, hey mate, yeah, you're right, because I don't know how to be that comfortable around people, because it takes me a while, because me as a normal person, it just takes me a bit longer just to get to know people. And I think that's where like I'd look at videos of myself the day after or whatever, and I'm just like, oh my god,
I just never even looked at them. I just wouldn't do it, because I knew like the next day I knew there'd be videos that'd go in the group, like in our WhatsApp group, and I just wouldn't look at them, because I just couldn't face
karaoke,
that. Karaoke. I mean, that's always a joy, but is it?
Yeah, I hope you're still going to be getting karaoke and stuff.
I've got my first karaoke coming up.
Have you? How exciting!
Yeah, it's on Saturday, so it's a baby shower karaoke, which is then like,
love that.
You know, sober people in that.
Yeah.
Hopefully the mum will say so. But yeah, that's my first, because I've said that and for ages, like that's a biggie for me.
Yeah,
I love singing.
A milestone.
Yeah, so that's like a I'm being forced. So there you go.
Are you excited? Are you nervous?
Yeah, I am.
Both.
I am nervous. Yeah. Isn't it funny? But
it's
again,
good to be nervous.
Yeah, it's like that. You know, obviously the alcohol takes your inhibitions away, doesn't it? So I can get up there and I can crack out Celine or Tina. But I wouldn't want it to stop. Like, you know, when we go out and get on karaoke, like, I'd hate that. And like, we love singing Celine.
Yeah.
Or any form of lady with a massive voice that we think we can do. So karaoke first. And that's part of it, isn't it? It's like pushing ourselves into like situations that we might find uncomfortable, and we're working out still what we do when we don't like as we go through this. But I think a lot of my passions and things that I love would stay. Like, I love live music, I love singing, I love karaoke, I love playing pool, I love, you know, all the stuff that we've always like enjoyed together. Like, I feel like that shouldn't change.
And it's like it just takes more effort to do it.
Prepare for it.
Yeah.
And you might think, it's like for me, I probably don't like, you know, standing. I don't really like standing in bars now in Manchester. Do you know, just having drinks.
Yeah.
Do you know, and part of me is like, oh well, you maybe should push yourself to do it because you know you got to do things that you don't like doing. But I'm like, well, I don't really get much from it. So why would I push myself to do that? Now, if it was a gig and I was having, if it was a gig and I was saying, no, I don't like being around people drinking, but I do want to watch the gig, so I'm not going to do it. Then that's a problem, isn't it? That's what it's like. Well, maybe you should push yourself to do that because you get something out of it then in the end. So I think it's about working out what's worth, actually, because you don't want to spend your whole life just pushing yourself through things just to sort of
just to appease, isn't it?
Yeah, just to prove that you can do it without drinking.
But like you say, standing in a bar, you would never choose to. You wouldn't sit in the same room for hours, would you? Like, people go to a bar to drink alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're not drinking, don't get me wrong, it's nice to spend like an hour or so with your friends, but then after that, it's like, can we move? Can we go somewhere else?
I don't think people that do drink don't understand how weird it is. If you sat there for hours and you've not drank it, it's a bit like, this is like boring.
Yeah, and it's not like you say, it's not at first, like, because you're with your mates, you're having a good time, but like then conversations start to repeat, or like people get a bit.
You can see the change in people, can't you? And they're like,
which is fascinating to see. I'm very intrigued about, we're going Kendall out with this year. That's going to be my year anniversary,
and obviously last year was like your last hurrah, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No way.
So that's going to be...
It was only going to be for a year, though.
It was,
It was only going to be for a year, wasn't it? When we stopped.
Yeah.
It was like, we'll come back to Kendall next year and do it all again.
Yeah, we'll go Kendall to Kendall. But I'm apprehensive, but I'll be fine because it's my favourite place. Like, I love
and it's
live
a festival.
music,
Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot
doing
going
things,
on.
aren't we? All weekend, like. You're there.
You don't stop, do you? Really? Like, you're moving around from like place to place as well, and it'll be great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like, I'm well excited.
It'll be different for you, won't it? It'll be nice to see things.
It will be very
from a sober mind.
Yeah, and you'll remember it all. Remember all the performances.
Yeah, I'm going to be jealous. You have to remind me.
Like, right then, this is what happened.
This is what you did. I've been taking notes.
Oh yeah, no, it'll be great.
Yeah.
So Leanne, how about you? How did your journey start with alcohol? Do you remember your first time?
I think mine was at a family party as well.
Easy access to the
easy
booze,
access.
Just like
There's something on the table. I'm having that Bacardi Breezer. And then it was exciting. It was a buzz. It was like and then it was even more fun because I used to rob alcohol from my mum. She's probably never going to listen to this. So.
Sorry, Mum.
And it was fun because we knew we shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
And like you say, like getting people to go in the shop for you and get your beer, it was like, this is great. Let's go on a street corner and drink. And then everyone was doing it, and it was who can get it drunk the quickest.
Yeah.
It was just, and then like you said, it was just every weekend after that.
Yeah.
Someone was having a party. It was, who's going to get the booze.
Yeah. I do find it absolutely mental that we were able to do it every weekend. Like, whether it was in a house or on the street, it was every weekend. A party or at a park. Without fail, and it's like, how were we able to sustain that? Where did we get the money from?
£5 a week pocket money. I was saving up my dinner money. I think taking sandwiches and like £2 a day dinner money. All adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's so wild, though, isn't it? At like such a young age, we were like so committed and needed to do it so much, and you think, like we were just saying then, when you're sitting at one place just drinking for too long, it gets boring. Sorry, without drink, it can be really boring just to sit there for too long. And you think, what did we have to do when we were younger, actually, at night?
But we would do that. You would, like, we'd spend time together, like, in the week and at school. You with people for hours and hours and hours, aren't you? So you were, like, doing... Do you know what I mean? Like, but it's weird that
you were making the best of a bad situation,
though. Like, crave that.
You were making the best of a bad situation because nobody wanted to be at school. It made it more fun that you were friends with her.
True. Like, I mean, I had a great time.
At weekend, we sat on the park. Like, you know, you're 14, 15, you're not that bothered about going on the swings. You might be interested in like the opposite sex, or you know, or in your case, not the opposite sex. But you know, you
the opposite sex back then, though.
But either way, you're interested in dating or whatever, and that can be quite an anxious experience, can't it? You have a drink and it's like
made it easy,
gone.
Didn't it? I'm going to get
immediately.
off with everyone tonight.
Who wants it?
We're all just getting off with it. Everyone.
Well, no, we were both spin the bottle with everyone, weren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, my friends were. It was like, oh, let's all have 4-way kisses. Like,
spin the bottle was fun, though, weren't it?
Weirdly. I mean, some wild parties were had, and it was just not appropriate things for 14, 15-year-olds to be doing.
But I'll say this though, when you're younger, it does serve a purpose. Like, I do think if I could go back with like. If I could go back and there was a magic button where I could just switch it off when I needed to, I'd probably still say I'd probably still done it as a youngster, just for the fact that it was fun. You were allowed to be stupid and crazy when you were a youngster, like you.
And at least you were with your mates. Yeah, you were actually spending time together. Yeah. Whereas I think
it was safe
now, like,
it doesn't serve a purpose for me personally anymore. Like, I'm still acting like a 14-year-old. Like, maybe not quite as bloody stupid, but not far off. And, you know, it doesn't serve a purpose for me to, like, live an adult life. And I think part of it is down to possibly with having ADHD and how it affects me with my personal experience with it. It's like dynamite to me. It's like I drink it and it's just like, my head is just like... like, I can't sit still for long. I remember on the Christmas do... for work, and every bar we went into, I'd always just have like a beer, and then I'm like, right, are we moving? This is boring now, and everyone's like, we've just got here, like chill out. And I used to think that everyone must have had that same experience. I used to think that like everyone has a drink and then they all feel like this, but now when I'm sober and I sit around people that are drinking, I'm like, how is everyone so chilled out? You've had about 6 beers. What's going on? And I realised it was me. It was in the head. I used to think it was wild and crazy, and it's like, no, people are just sitting down.
People are relaxing.
I think I was like that with us though as well, with like our group of mates. Like I always thought that people were on a similar level to me, but I don't think many were. I really don't, because I just think I always just went further. Yeah. For most parts, if we were like out type thing.
Yeah. But everyone's different though, aren't they? Like,
and that's the point.
You're all in the same situation, but you're all drinking different amounts as well. You might have had like 5 more wines, and the other person who's just sipping it and chilling. And you're like, no, I'm down in it. I need to get pissed.
And I think that was always my mentality though. Like if I was drinking, if we were going out, I'd be like, I'm out. Like, and
I'm going all out.
I'm in.
Yeah.
So. Look after me, guys.
It was that though. It was like, oh, where's Beth? Oh, I've seen her running up the road before. I need to go get her.
She's just paid 80 quid for a taxi to Rome.
We've all got a friend like that.
Do you remember that?
I appreciate it.
The train station. Oh my god, that was crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, right, I'm gonna go meet Bobby. 100 quid later.
We did get stranded though. The train was stranded.
That was
on
actually
the track.
quite a smart decision. That wasn't the worst. Yeah. No, one of the worst things for me was when I literally like ran home in the snow with no shoes. That is insane. About a mile.
Where were your shoes?
I don't know.
In the pub, in the street, I think. Was that when we were... Was it New Year's Eve in Royton, that?
It might have been, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, there's a few mad ones. Yeah. We'll come on to the funny stories later. So, obviously, we've both gone sober. And obviously we have our perceptions of it. But, like, when you found out that we were going sober, what were, like, your thoughts at first? Because that's quite a shift from the person that goes out and is with the crackheads.
It's like from one extreme to the other, isn't it? Without weaning yourself off it, really.
Yeah.
So I thought, good on you.
I was surprised, but also, like, excited for you. Like, like, give it a go, see how you go.
Yeah, excited, definitely. Because it's a journey for you both, isn't it? And see how long you can sustain it for.
Yeah.
Do you think you were excited because you sort of knew it was probably the right decision based on the evidence that you've just detailed?
Evidence.
No, I thought it would be like a really positive thing for you.
Yeah.
And like maybe help you with your relationship with alcohol, because, you know, it wasn't every night we was out, but occasionally, you might take it too far and get a little bit too drunk. And so I definitely could see that it would be a really good thing for you to try. So.
Your physical and your mental health as well. I think it was interesting for us to see, you know, how it helps you in that sense.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Because, like, when you go in sober, you almost come up with a load of... Our washing machine's just gone off again. Bane noises. You start to paint a load of pictures in your mind about how other people will perceive it.
Yeah.
So, like... I don't know if you remember, but when I decided this, I sent like a full message to the girls, because
I was going to say about that. Like, you sent this massive paragraph and I was reading it in the chat and I was like, oh my God, what has happened? Like, what? She's building up to something mega rare, like, something crazy's happened. I hope she's okay. And it was like, read more. And I'm like, Leslie, you all right? What's happened? And she's like, I'm gonna be like, you know, stop drinking. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big. Like,
but that's
you
it.
built
But
it up.
I built it up so much in my
the need
head.
to explain why you're choosing to do that. Because I think now, especially, people always think there's got to be a reason for you wanting to go sober.
Yeah.
Have you, like, hit rock bottom? Are you an alcoholic? People always think there's got to have been a massive problem. Definitely. Whereas some people just decide they don't want to drink anymore. And so you don't need to have, you know, a reason to choose to do it.
And that was it. And I felt like I needed to justify myself to do it.
I think that's like our generation though, isn't it? Like, drinking is just what we do. Yeah. So you're going against the grain of like what all your mates do. So I get why you would feel that way, but...
And I guess I didn't want it to like change things, but it does change things.
Yeah.
And you have to have kind of had to go through this to like experience that it's changed things. Are we gonna have to?
It's fine. Just go and do it. By the way, our washing machine just starts bleeping. So
have you got a washer, or is it just beeping?
We're giving it to downstairs when they move in, when we move out. So don't say anything, but it's broke. No, it works, but you've just got to... I will tell them. I will let them know, but it just stops itself, and then you've just got to like press it.
Go off again.
It's just temperamental. But like you were saying, you're worried that the relationship's going to change, but I think I suppose that all depends on what the relationship was built on anyway. But you'd never know that beforehand, and you don't want to be... You don't want to come across like... Well, lots of things go on, because you start to doubt whether you're actually going to have anything to offer the group by being someone who's sober.
You don't... It's not that you're questioning the friendship, but you question how you are in a friendship.
Especially if
you've
been...
the friendship's been built.
Yeah, if you're like the fun friend, the one that's, you know, bringing the drama and excitement, then it's like, now what do I do?
But like, all of my like absolute insecurities and demons just like came out as a result of it. So like, I don't know if I'm fun. I don't think I'm funny. like, and I've said all of this to you, like, yeah, like, because you just feel like, because when I think of myself as that person who's drunk, I think of them as funny, a bit chaotic, more confident, you know, won't shut up, like, but that's not who I am, like, naturally. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't.
You are still very funny.
Yeah, I know, but
I spent a lot of time with you when you're not drinking, but that you just feel like that.
But that's like all my things that I
kind of
panic about, like that.
I think you're hilarious.
Thanks, mate.
Sorry, that sounded sarcastic. That wasn't me sarcastic.
Thank you.
I totally get that though. Yeah.
But it's weird. You just go through these weird like things.
I think
you just question everything.
When you use alcohol, or you have used alcohol for a long time, because you think it covers up parts of yourself that you don't like, you just presume that if you stop drinking, people are going to see those things and not like you, like the same way you didn't like yourself. But so you know, as a rational adult, you know that that's not the case. But you're not dealing with trauma. Comes from a child brain, doesn't it? You know, it usually comes from stuff you've not resolved from when you've had that from a young age. So you don't, you know, it's all subconscious, isn't it? So when you think, right, I'm not going to drink, what am I going to do then? Like, people aren't going to think I'm funny. People aren't going to think I'm worth having around, or I'm not going to be able to add anything to the group, or like, you know. And that's why you wrote the essay.
That is why I did it. I still got value, I promise. But I remember, like, even in that, I said, like, you know, if we got engaged, if we got married, like, I'd still have the, like, hen do in Benidorm. But, like, whether that would happen or not, I don't know. But I probably wouldn't now. No. But, like, I was, like, defending it. Even though it's, you know, it's a good thing to do. It's really weird.
You don't have to justify it. Like, at the end of the day, your friends love you for who you are, like, regardless of whether you're drunk or sober. Your friends just want to support you, but I get what you mean, like, what are they going to think of me? Like, are they going to feel a bit awkward if we're all drinking? Because for me, that would be one thing. If, like, do I have to be sensitive around my friend that's not drinking? Like, would I feel like I have to hold back a bit at a party? Like, that was, you know, things that came to mind with me, like.
Fair.
Definitely.
I'd never expect you to do that. I'd never want you both to change, or anyone in my life to change as a result of a decision that, like, I'm making or we're making, because I still love you for who you are as a person, like that. You know, this is like my or our decision, but that should never change on the other side. Like, but it's like. It's still fair
tough
to think that, isn't it?
It's still tough when you, like, I remember when my friend went sober a couple of years back, and I was still drinking, and she was like 10 months in or whatever, and she just wasn't getting pissed, and that's what we used to do together a lot. So I'd still be getting pissed, and it's like you know, you don't feel that's. Even though I was like proper happy for her, because I knew that that's what she wanted to do. It was like, oh, this does change the relationship then, because I want someone to get bloody messy with. Like, you know, and you know, that's so it does change in that sense. That's why you got to make the effort outside of doing things like drinking to have things like, you know, just start a podcast.
So instead you come around for CBDs and podcasts.
Get your pals around for a podcast.
But so it takes work, and that's when you do find out if you've got, like, more than a surface, like more than a drinking level friendship with someone, because they'll be like, actually I will come round and go for a walk or some food with you, or and it's I think it's more on the drinker who stopped to put the effort in to do it, because you're the one that's changing the dynamics of the friendship. But and then you get to see who still wants to have that relationship outside of it. So
have you had a few friends drop out of your life kind of since you've, or is it too early to really tell, because you're still quite early days?
I've not had anyone yet. No, my, like, really good friends.
We do a lot. We do all sorts.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not all just drinking. No, exactly. No, I'll actually say I've been really lucky, because there's not any. I think Bobby's right in the sense that when he says you have to put the effort in more, and you have to arrange stuff that you enjoy doing. So like we've done darts and I've done a lot of meals and brunches and things like that. So you do have to do that. But no, I wouldn't say I've lost anyone really. I've been quite lucky in that sense. I
definitely see a couple of friends like less because we did a lot of drinking together, and like that would be something that I'd actively pursue. But it's not changed how close we are. It's just changed how much we see each other. So when we do see each other and we go for a walk or whatever, it's just like nothing's changed. And there's probably some people that I will never hang around with again who maybe I wouldn't say they're my close circle, but the people that I've had nights out with and done the sesh with, and they're just people that I probably, unless I bump into them or unless it's on another path, that I won't see in that way anymore. Do you know what I mean? We won't be doing emceeing in the kitchen anymore.
And I suppose people like that probably triggers as well, aren't they? If you've associated that friendship with just that.
Yeah. And there's not enough time to see everyone that you know. Jesus, I've got
especially
just
at our age, things going on. And
it's not you don't and
you value quality time as well, don't you? Like I think we are aging, and like we are, and I guess in some ways that is a positive for us at our age. Is like actually everyone around our age is age. They are getting married. They're having kids. Life is slowing down a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think from that perspective that helps because if we were in our 20s doing this, I think that would be a lot really hard.
Also, if I feel like if we hadn't done it together, I'd find it really hard. I would crumble. Yeah, I would have. I don't know if I would now.
One of you still going.
Yeah,
and the other one's like.
I don't know if I would now. But I think definitely for the first like 6 months till I really got in my stride with it. I think if you was still drinking, or if I was still drinking. If I was still drinking and you were trying to stop, that would have been.
I think we've both kind of said, haven't we, though, that like if I turn around to Bobby tomorrow and was like, I'm going to drink, you would drink, and vice versa.
Potentially,
because
I don't know.
Well, I think.
I think it'd be difficult.
I think if you. I think I would if you turned around to me.
Yeah.
Really? You crumble like that?
It's funny you should say that.
No, I'd obviously be like, no, this is stupid, what are we doing? Yeah. But I don't know. Well, I don't think I could.
It wouldn't be a smooth process, put it that way, would it? It wouldn't be a smooth process. No. There'd be issues that we'd have to overcome. It wouldn't just be like, oh, you're drinking, I'm going to drink now.
Your relationship would change again. Like I feel like it's changed from going sober and then it would change again. Like, now what do we do?
Yeah, and it's weird. It's like, I think if we were, there's so much more on it now. Like the decision to start drinking again. Yeah. There's so much in that decision as a result of all the work that you've done to get to this point. Like, because it's hard. This is hard. Like it's so. It'd be so easy just to be like, right, come on, let's go for a glass of wine. Yeah. It's the easiest thing ever as a result of the years of doing it. Yeah. But the guilt, if we were to do that now, for me would just be so much worse than the guilt that you get after you've had a big night. Like,
because you put in all this hard work. Yeah. And is it worth it for one drink?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And it's because it's out there in the world and everyone knows that you're not drinking now, and it's kind of like, is that a pressure to kind of keep it up? Yeah. Not just for yourself, but just to like not let everyone else down.
We've kind of put that pressure on ourselves as well. Like,
which is probably good.
It means we've gone further than the last episode. I always forget to take it out. So, but it's definitely. It's definitely a conscious decision to put that amount of pressure on ourselves, and it's not something that I was willing to do as much in the beginning. Like, I've only just started because obviously, I've got like my music page, and I've always kept that just like separate. I've not really talked about it too much on there. Whereas like now I'm sort of I've sort of started saying on there like a lot about being sober, and I think that's because I've got to the point where I'm like, look, this is probably who I want to be now.
Yeah,
and I want to put it out there, and it does give me that extra accountability.
That keeps you kind of going down the straight and narrow. Everything
massively.
Yeah, so I think it's any road that you take is going to be a tough one. Like if we went back to drinking, that's going to have its own set of issues and problems. Doing this is really tough some days, isn't it? But I will say it's usually just one day or 6 hours. On the road that we're on now, the tough times, there are always thoughts that maybe last a few hours, and feelings of loss and like missing out that last a couple of hours. Whereas I know if I was drinking, the tough times would be days. They'd be Monday to Thursday. And you know, I've lost years of my life feeling like that. I've spent years, if you add it up, feeling really, really bad and really, really mentally negative. And I just can't do it anymore. Can we cut, please? But it's just true. It's true.
It is. So I don't know if we will.
It's a young man's game
again. Yeah, I don't think we will. I don't think so.
Who knows? Who knows? It's a long... Forever is a really long time.
What's been like the hardest... Or what's been like the biggest trigger for you so far? Has there been one moment or time that's really nearly pushed you?
I think getting Oasis tickets was probably one of the big ones for me.
Yeah, we did. Really? When we got them, we were like...
When you got the ticket, you've not even
been yet, and that's
right. So you wanted to celebrate,
we were just like so buzzing.
Well, I think that's the thing. Like people associate celebrating with alcohol. Like how do you celebrate? Let's have a drink. Celebrate your birthday. Let's have a drink. It's just it comes with it, doesn't it?
Literally, It's and they're the things that you have to like find new celebrations for.
So what did you do?
We went away that weekend.
So we basically got the tickets. We were like, yes, come on. Then we were on our way to Wales for the weekend. It was proper sunny, and we were driving down in the car. We were driving down in the car, and I was just like, I felt miserable.
Yeah, we both were just like,
oh my god. And we talked about it on the way down, and luckily, just through talking about it, by the time we'd got 20 minutes away from being at the place, we were like, I don't want to drink now.
Because you talked yourself out of it.
And you do, you have to sit with it, and you have to just kind of almost play the tape forward. Everyone says that, but it's true, you have to play the tape forward in terms of like what you want to do.
If you don't sit with it and talk about it, then you are just going to be frustrated.
The thing, I had one last week, I think I mentioned it in the last episode, but I went to London because obviously I lived in London and had a meeting, and then I was walking back to the tube, and loads of people just sat outside the bars and like having cigarettes, and I was just like, just look
smelling cigarettes sometimes when
smelling that as you walk past.
So good.
And it was just because obviously all my memories of like just being in London and like my 20s and just such good times. So that for me was actually a biggie. And I will say it's hard. Summer is harder than winter. And we're not even in summer yet.
So drinking season, isn't it?
Beer gardens.
I'll be honest, we get excited by the prospect of going sitting outside
and
having a pint.
It's like it's natural.
It's
as a result of our lives.
You know, it's just so deeply ingrained. I mean, you think like what I don't know how long it is for everyone else, but for me it's like, so I was 14, so at least
21 years. No, 22 years.
22 years of drinking like every weekend, all weekend.
Yours will be 24.
During the week as well, 24, thanks. Just every weekend hammering it, and then all of a sudden I'm meant to be able to just switch it off. Well, not meant to, but I'm trying to just switch it off now. And it's tough. It's not always tough, but when the triggers come and when your brain goes to thinking it, Something I've always struggled with was getting the thought of drinking and then just not doing it. Then it was always like it was inevitable.
Yeah,
it was like as soon as I imagine that drink going down my neck, I'm like, it's like I can't not do this now. This is gonna happen. I don't care if I've got work tomorrow.
If someone's promised me a drink, I'm having that drink.
Yeah.
That's me. It's like the excitement.
It's so exciting.
Yes, I'm gonna have a drink, and then if I don't,
it's crazy.
But then half the time, like I have that drink, and I'm like, for me, it's all or nothing. I'm gonna stay out all day.
Yeah.
And if I just have one, then I'm disappointed. But then it doesn't make me feel good. Like yesterday, it was a nice sunny day. We were like, let's go and have a pint in the beer garden, and then we had 2 pints, and then just felt tired after that, didn't we?
I mean, I loved it. That was enough for me. Like, I was like, right, come on, let's go for a little wander.
I loved it, don't get me wrong.
But then you don't want that to end.
I enjoyed it, and that's why I'm like, let's go and get a hotel.
Yeah.
That's what I was always like, wasn't I? Everywhere we went, I was like,
let's just leave the car, let's just go and get a hotel. Like, I would never, on a normal day, if I'd gone and had a pint of Coke, I'm not going to be like,
let's abandon everything.
Let's abandon that car and go and have another pint of Coke.
Yeah. I think you find it a lot harder to just have a couple of drinks and then stop,
definitely.
don't you?
I just don't enjoy it.
ADHD.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't enjoy it. If you're telling me I'm going to have to really enjoy something and then I'm going to have to stop there and then go back to reality, it's like, no, this is fucking painful. Like, why are you doing this to me? How am I going to sleep? Like, what am I supposed to do? Just go on fucking wind? Like, no, I'm ready. I'm off. Like, the fucking the horse has left the stables. Like, it's gone.
But that's you both have ADHD.
Yeah.
So this is the problem.
Yeah.
It's I tell you what, it's a gift and a curse. Because the gift is you get to really enjoy it, like possibly more than others. Like, you know, it really is exciting. It really does make you feel like your brain's alive and you are just like glowing. And then
do you have that same feeling?
For me, it almost makes me feel normal. Like on a normal day, everything's either like too much or too little. There's too much going on or there's too little going on. I have a drink and it's just like calm but exciting. Like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to feel like. I can be myself, but I also feel a bit normal as well. Like everything's a bit, I'm still buzzed, but not as like, the chaos is like, it's like dampened down a bit, but I still want to go on a mad one.
Do you feel calm or do you feel chaos?
I feel calm in the sense that I don't have like social anxiety or I'm not like listening, I'm not like looking around and thinking I'm not looking for like danger or like, because for me, I'm very like I get very over like worrying about other people sort of thing, like
overstimulated.
Are they like looking at me or like do I look stupid to these guys or whatever? It's like, and I know that'll come from something from when I was younger or whatever. But when I'm in large crowds of new people, I'm very conscious of like what do I look like in all this. Whereas when I drink, I'm like, look at me. Oh, you. What's your name? I go and probably annoy other people who don't want to be bothered by strangers. So I
get that.
Do you feel like
I feel like sober, I feel like I'm noticing everything around, things that I feel like other people are noticing, like even just like being in a shop, I'm thinking, what are my hands doing? What am I doing? Like everything around me, I'm noticing it's like a million things at once, whereas when I have alcohol, I'm just like, it's just calm. Not calm, because I still like will. It's comfort. It's comfort. I'm like, I don't care about what my hands are doing.
Look at my hands.
It just like calms things down a bit.
It's calm and it's calm chaos.
Yeah, it is.
It's calm chaos. It's adventure.
It is.
It's an adventure. It's an adventure I don't feel like I can embark on when I'm sober. Like I'm so like reserved and so like within myself when I'm sober, and then all of a sudden it's like the amount of times I've set off to Manchester Airport to get a flight somewhere because I've like because my mates have like talked me out of it because I'm like, no, I'm going on an adventure. It's like, Rob, you need to get some sleep, mate. It's like thank God.
You're not going on a flight yet. The fact that you actually hate flying as well just shows how bad that is.
Honest to God, it's crazy.
Do you feel like, because obviously you've not drank now in like nearly 9 months, like with, you know, that feeling, I guess, what am I trying to say? What do you feel is like giving you some of the confidence that you now have, kind of going in more like situations and stuff, because you are definitely growing in confidence? So do you just think it's time?
Repeated practice of being myself. Right. Like when I used to drink, I'd spend 2 or 3 days not like be like on alcohol, and then I'd spend 4 days in my bed. So I was never getting like or barely just getting through life. Do you know what I mean? Crawling to work, crawling home, getting back in bed. Like I'd never spent any period of my life really being myself. The other one I was too low. The other one I was just too wild. And I never spent any time in my own body, in my own skin, like, oh, how do I communicate with people actually? So when it used to come, so now I'm like, every day I am just myself. And I think I'm just getting more practice at it now. And I think that's why, in time, I'll be able to dance on tables sober. No, don't
We'll be waiting for that day.
But yeah, I think that's the reason why.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm jealous of that, to be quite honest.
Insightful,
because when you're saying it, I'm like, I get that. Like, I feel like I spend half my time now recovering from being drunk, from the hangover. Like, and I think it comes with age as well, doesn't it? Like, it takes
a lot
so
harder
long
now, isn't it?
to recover. Like, I'm going to work and I'm like, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm driving to. What am I doing?
Autopilot.
Yeah, literally. And I'm like, God, I can't wait to feel normal. And then I feel normal and I'm like, oh, it's Friday, I'll have a drink.
Yeah.
I think I drink a lot less now than I used to because of the feeling.
You definitely drink a lot less.
Yeah.
Not
I don't want to feel
more,
like I used to feel like 2-day hangovers. Yeah. I think I'm quite responsible and
You're more responsible than I am.
You've always been quite good though, like in general, in terms of your controlling of it. I don't know how.
I think I just
definitely had your moments.
Yeah.
Which again we'll come to.
The early days I definitely didn't know my limits or anything, but I think now I drink, I have a good time, and then I'll just be like, no, I don't want another one now. Or like, no, I don't want a shot, or do you know what I mean? I'll just drink to enjoy the moment, really.
You balance me out quite well.
Whereas you...
Yeah, but I think all three of us are the same. Like, that's where we went wrong, because I would never not, and he would never not. But then you did... But I would get really messy, and then and then Bobby would take me home, because you would, wouldn't you? Because I'd be too gone. Like, that's where we...
Put you to bed, and then I'd carry on.
But, like...
There was just no off switch.
There was no... And I don't think, really, I ever had an off switch until I just... Okay.
Yeah, you could just keep drinking. But I think it's the amount, like, you drink maybe quite a lot getting ready. One of a few drinks getting ready, and I'm like, I'm just going to sip this wine getting ready, but
I'm like, no.
You're like, no, let's drink, we're drinking.
But
we're going to go out and drink, though, we don't need to do that now, we're going out to do that, though, so you just...
for me, it's like, but I'm drinking now, I'm starting,
I'm
excited,
it's an insatiable appetite, it's like what I'm supposed to do with myself now.
You would go to the shop and get a pack of cigarettes, and then you just wouldn't stop. Like, that's your starting mechanism, weren't it? Because, like, if Bobby knew he was having a drink, he'd finish work, he'd go to the shop, he'd get a pack of cigarettes.
I wouldn't even wait till I finish work. I'd go in the morning. I'd be like, if I'm drinking tonight, I need to smoke like Doc Cotton. It's
But it's that, like, because it was in his head, he just wouldn't stop. Like, it was like, right, go time.
It started.
Yeah, and that, like, with what you were saying there about just enjoy a drink, it's like if I'm not in the process of drinking, I just feel like, right, well, I've got to have a cigarette then. I've got to be doing something.
Yeah. And I feel strange if I'm in a bar or anywhere drinking and I don't have a drink in my hand. Again, I'm like, maybe I've got a problem with my hands because I don't know what I'm drinking.
You're very aware of your hands.
I'm like, oh, what are these? I always need it. And because I drink really quick as well, like, my glass is always empty and I'm like... Can I hold your drink? I need to do something.
But it's the whole... I don't know what it is. It must be something to do with like the ADHD side of it. But it's just like you say, you go from, I don't drink to be chilled.
Yeah.
I don't drink because I just autopilot my way through life, or especially when you're feeling like run down from the weekend, you're piloting through life, and then you sort of, alcohol drags you out of that. It drags you out and flings you up in the air, and the last thing you want to do is go back.
Yeah.
Is go back to feeling like that. It overwhelms you, and it just makes you. To me, it's just like drink, go for a cigarette, chat to a stranger. Yeah. Everything's just like full on, so full on, and that's why I was saying before. I realise now when I look at people drinking, even when they've had about 5 or 6 pints, like they might just be like slurring the words a bit, but then they're like, I'm gonna get last train anyway. I'm like, last train? You get the first train. You go on a night out, you get the first train the morning after. If you're lucky. So, and it's, or you get in a hotel.
It's a chemical thing, isn't it?
Dumping my car.
Yeah.
Because you're both saying the same thing, essentially. And it's
And talking to strangers, you love that, and you're very good at that.
I'll talk to strangers sober, but...
No, but if I go to the toilet and I come back and some guy's talking to her and I'm like, oh God, I need to go rescue her. She's like hating this. And I come over, she's like, oh, one sec. I'm just talking to this guy.
One sec, I'm just
like,
giving him my address.
this conversation.
Yes, Leah,
you love talking to people, and that's great for you, but I'd rather just enjoy our time together.
You're saying he's
cute little drink.
Kidnap you.
You are exactly the same. Yeah.
I am the worst.
I'm like sat there like awkward, like, oh God,
yeah, it's so awkward for me. I don't like it. I'm like, who is this person? Like, leave them.
Leave them.
And you've seen like a dulled down version of me. Like when I think back to when I was in my 20s, right? Like when I think back to when I was in my 20s and teens and like mid-20s, like when I think about it, like some people I've been in a relationship with, and I just look back now and I think, what a dick. Like you must like, and I never did anything out of malice. Like I would be like, right, we're going to bed, and I'd sneak off out to crack it because I couldn't go to bed. I didn't want to, and I wouldn't be doing anything. I'd be in someone's house party emceeing to a PC. Like we'd be putting beats on the thing and just like rapping together, like getting off our heads, and then. But I'd do it. I couldn't just go and chill after a night out, and it led to so many problems, and and that's just the relationship side of it, the job side of it, where I wouldn't be fit for purpose on a Monday. So like, am I going in, spin the wheel? I've let myself down so many times over the years, and like I say, I have been working on myself for a long time, and when we sort of met, even though I was still drinking and still didn't want to, I'd done a lot of work before then. If you wouldn't have looked twice at me if you'd seen me a couple years before.
I'm sure I would.
I wouldn't. No. I don't know what you're doing with me now, to be honest. I'm joking. I'm a cat. But my point is, it's been an issue for me for a long time. Yeah. And like the only reason I've been able to stop now is because I've done so much work on it, and it's
Sorry, there's a fly.
But yeah. And I imagine there's lots of people who will be probably watching podcasts like this or listening to podcasts like this that will... So the reason I'm sort of going on and saying that is because I feel like that I might add value to someone that is in the same position I was, maybe still in the 20s, or they might be my age now and going, holy shit, that is me.
Yeah.
And I think just as much as it's important to not judge and say, look, if people can have a drink and it doesn't absolutely ruin their life, then do what you want. We all eat sugar. We all, there's lots of things that are harming us. But you got to take
looking after yourself. Isn't it?
You got to take responsibility for yourself. And if you are making mistakes and messing up, might be the best option for you.
Yeah.
Right.
I like it.
Question time.
Write that down.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes, we do. Leanne, would you like to take?
I thought it'd be good to have a bit of a question time so that we could see what.
Do you know what? I think you've answered some of our questions, but we do have some questions.
I've got one. I don't know if we wrote this down, but
go on.
What's the best thing that you've learnt about yourself from being sober?
That's juicy, isn't it? Ooh.
You've discovered newly, or something that's been there all along and you've never really had a chance to look into it more.
Oh, that's really hard.
Sorry, we might not have wrote that one down.
The best thing I learned about myself is that I am actually able to not let myself down.
Oh.
And I'm actually able to show up for myself.
Yeah.
Consistently.
That's a great one.
And I never used to think I could. I just used to think I was a disaster. Well, I was. But it was because of the alcohol. It was because of the alcohol. There's lots of not everyone is just alcohol. Some people might be, the session, whatever it is, right? It all starts from alcohol. Yeah. I would have never gone on half these wild sessions or did half of the stuff I've done if it wasn't for beer. You take the beer out and everything goes. So that's why I bang on about the booze so much. Because to me, that is the gateway. That's the gateway to
stops everything else.
The gateway to everything. So for my answer is that showing up for myself.
That's a very good one.
Yeah, I like that.
What about you?
I don't know.
That was going to be your answer, wasn't it?
No.
It's okay, I took it.
Probably that I am enough as a person, just who I am. I think I used alcohol so much as a crutch. And I didn't even realise how much I used it as a crutch. But frickin' hell was it a crutch. And it takes that away. You can't, there's nowhere to hide, so you kind of have to tackle everything that's going on. And for me, I am enough and I am a nice person to be around. And, and I think that's, I'm still working on that, but it's definitely, that's a biggie. Yeah. For me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are enough.
You are enough, Bethany. Betty.
Weird, right? Okay.
Any more questions?
Next, what do you miss most about drinking? Or what elements? Because I'm sure there are a few.
Getting drunk. Getting drunk with my mates, getting drunk with you guys, getting drunk. Just the whole anticipation of it, the coming home, getting ready, going on the night out, everyone's sharing that, joining in with taking the shots, having that wild side and having that, again, I say a wild side, it's just me being daft. I used to think everything was wild. It's you sat in a restaurant, it's not wild, man. It was, why don't you believe me? but yeah, I just miss being that sort of extreme to a point, and I think just the joining in with everyone, doing the drink, doing the partying.
Yeah, I have two. So one is just being able to switch your mind off. Yeah, when you've got, I've got a pretty stressful job. Yeah, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I'm, quite a high-strung person at times. I'm looking at Bobby because he literally had this conversation this morning. And I was quite high-strung. I was yeah, okay, fine. So I think it does take those things away. Yeah. So for just to have a few drinks sometimes and just not have what's going on in your head is nice, but that's not a reality that you should be chasing because the problems or whatever it is that's going, the stress doesn't go away. You've still got that stress on Monday when you go back to work or so that's one. And then I nights out with the girls and with you, and they're some of my best times I've ever had. But it's part of the compromise that you accept when you're doing this is you're not going to have that feeling.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away, like, friendships. That doesn't
No,
take away
definitely
our
not.
friendship. But that is something that, you know, I do miss.
But
I do miss it.
They're memories, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're old
Well,
memories.
exactly, yeah.
And now you're going to make new memories
Yeah.
that you'll actually remember.
Yeah.
And you know, and you'll look back in a few years and be like, oh my God, I had the best time of my life there.
Yeah.
And you were sober. Like,
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
now, because it's all quite new to you, you are looking back at all these fun times that you had when you were drunk years ago, and they are still fresh. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true.
And we're still out and doing things with the girls. Like,
it's just a different feeling in it.
It's the old you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you mourn.
And I'm still mourning.
Yeah.
I'm still in my mourning phase.
Yeah.
Do men in that? Sorry, this is why. I'm still in my mourning phase, and I think that's the thing as well. Like I said the other day, like I keep having dreams at the minute about being drunk.
Really?
And I think I'm in this weird time right now where I'm reflective, but also stronger than I've ever been, but like still like maybe reflective and more. There's still like that going on, but I feel like that's the point. Is like this it never ends. I can't imagine, because it's just so easy to get access to it.
That's what I mean. It's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's so readily available.
Yeah.
It's the norm, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Everything has a payoff, doesn't it? It's like one of my mates has just gone to Amsterdam, and he was telling me on the phone about his crazy nights, couple of nights that he's had, and part of me was like, oh my God, like, I want that.
Yeah.
But he's going to be, you know, and it maybe not this time, but there'll be times living that lifestyle where he's going to be like, I want to stop. I feel like crap. I wish I was doing what Rob's doing.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, I feel a bit bored. I wish I was doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So there's going to always be pros and cons, but for me, the pros of not doing this massively outweigh the cons.
And that is it. Like the benefits, like, and I think we're really starting to see and feel them now, aren't we? Like I've never been healthier. I've never been fitter. Yeah. I've never slept better. I feel like I'm on top of things with work. We're doing this. Yeah. You know, there's just so much now, and we're like getting into the swing of that side of stuff.
And I bet you've got time.
Yeah,
extra
so
time.
much time.
Extra money.
So much time.
Spend so much time being hungover.
Yeah.
You waste days.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so
That's
much money.
probably the best thing.
Time drinking as well. Like, wasted time just sat about drinking.
Leah, you said you had a nice time yesterday.
I was like, God, are we done yet?
Nice. Any more questions?
Has anyone got a Rennie?
Yes,
she does. She's got a
I'm
pocket
suffering
full.
here.
They're over there in my jacket. You wanna?
Go on.
If you don't mind.
So I think that's where I've got my incredible heartburn.
Yeah, go in them. They're in.
That's where I got my incredible heartburn from. I think from my drinking days.
I was going to say, why are you still needing Rennies?
Well, I'll always need them. I mean, I'm not going to go into my health. My health thing. I've got lots wrong. I've got quite a bit wrong with my stomach.
Okay.
So
We won't go into that.
thank you.
Thank you.
Let that be a lesson to you kids.
Yep.
I think you've actually answered the questions that we was going to do, but I wanted to ask. Obviously, you're still spending a lot of time in situations where we're all drinking, like weddings and stuff. How has that been for you? I guess?
Actually, weddings are fun.
Yeah?
Because there's activities happening.
Yeah.
So there's things going on all through the day. I mean, I obviously love a wedding.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been good, haven't they? Because we've got up and we've danced, and there's just stuff going on at them all the time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like for me, with things that we've been doing, like obviously we went out for a meal recently.
Yeah.
And I went home after that meal. I actually regret going home straight away, but I think more of the reason that I did is because I had that massive bag of clothes. I didn't want to lumber it around. But I think I would have come for a drink, even if it was one, because I felt like I could have easily done that, because even though I think some of the girls were like, oh, I'm really drunk, like you didn't seem it to me, you seemed fine. So I think like that's where for me I need to push myself, is making sure that I don't pull myself away from stuff that I don't actually need to pull myself away from, as long as I feel comfortable. Like I shouldn't not do it. But other than that, like, there's not been anything. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I've not had any. But like the weddings that we've been to,
yeah, they've been good
with you guys, and that, it's all been fun. Like I say, people aren't actually like. For me, my whole thing was I don't want to be like,
around people like
me.
us.
Yeah. And it's like you guys are all right, you know. And maybe I was just overthinking it in my head anyway of like how I can handle the situation.
Yeah.
But it's always been fine. Like we've had a good dance at like the weddings, and we've I know we've left like pretty early than we would do usually.
But like 12, half 11, 12.
Yeah,
I think you've put in a good shift, to be fair.
Yeah.
But is it the fun because you're dancing?
Yeah.
Like
You're doing things.
It's the activity. If
You're
there's
not
an
like
activity,
conscious of like the fact that you're sober and everyone else is kind of.
Not in them.
I think there's just it's only like little things like we'll get up to have a dance and then I'll all of a sudden become aware that like I'm not a really good dancer and then my feet will start messing up and I'll be like, oh my god, everyone thinks I'm a weirdo. And it's like but then you keep at it and then you realise halfway through the night no one cares.
No one cares.
And then there's the guy on the dance floor that took his shirt off and
then swinging it around.
So actually like we're fine.
Nobody's looking at me.
Yeah.
Although I will say something, for some reason someone always tries to get me in a circle.
Yeah.
The circle just follows me around.
We'll remember that.
Yeah. Our friendship group is relentless for
They
that.
love a circle.
Just love a circle.
I'll be there 1 minute dancing, there'll be a crowd, and then I'll turn around and I'll turn back and I'm in a circle.
Yeah. Do something good.
Slut drop, goddamn you!
Do you find it?
Not quite there yet.
Do you find it difficult when people do say, you know, like you're at an event or something, and someone you might not know that well says, "Why are you not drinking?" Because that is the norm, isn't it? To go to the bar and get an alcoholic drink. Because I think if someone said, one of my friends or someone I didn't really know said they don't drink, I'd automatically think either you're religious, pregnant, or have had problems. What's your go-to when somebody says, "Why are you not drinking?"
I'm a terrible oversharer, so I just tell the truth.
Life story. How long have you got?
Like, you don't want me to have that drink, mate. No, but I just say it how it is. I don't really. I am an oversharer. Like, you know, I will say what I think is just normal, but whereas people might be like, well, just say no.
I think I generally say like I wasn't showing up for myself. That's pretty much. I think at first I was just like, oh, you know, the hangovers were, which they were. That was part of it. But like, for me, I wasn't showing up for myself.
No, I'm just
or
thinking,
for other people.
Would you say that like a networking event to maybe like a team member that you've not met before or whatever, and he's like, oh, do you want a drink? Like, I wasn't showing up for myself. So is that what you mean in that way? Like how do you tackle it when it's people you're not really that close to? My answer's still the same, by the way.
Do you get that a lot though? Do you get questions a lot?
If you say like you weren't drinking, if you're
and do
not
people
drinking,
look at
go,
you?
oh, you
I think that's just. Unless people just feel uncomfortable, but I think I would ask that person. Like, oh,
no,
you don't have to tell me.
Like,
I would, out of curiosity, I would want to know.
It's strange. It's absurd.
It's
but if you approached it like that, I would tell you my whole story. But if it's like a random person, I'd probably just be like, oh, you know, the hangovers. I'm just trying to look after myself.
How strange would it be if the tables were turned though, and someone said, "Why are you drinking? Why are you having a beer?" I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know."
I just don't know if that would ever happen. Well, maybe it will.
Why are you drinking? Like,
what's making you drink today, Leanne?
I
don't know, Leah.
I've drove you to it.
But I think,
might happen one
do you know what? It's so complex and it's so ingrained in society, and it's so. And again, like I say, you know, the part of living in like a free society is people can do what they want, and it's like someone shouldn't be judged for if they want to have a drink and unwind. And it's not about, like, say me for example, judging someone else. It's just about my personal experience with myself. And saying, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. But it's tough to even say that sometimes because you don't want to offend anyone. So you don't want to be like, I'm not drinking anymore. You know, I'm not like you.
Oh, well, I still drink.
You're like, what's wrong with drinking? What's wrong with me?
And you have that experience. Or maybe not outwardly. But
you see it a lot maybe like online or something. If you like, you see it like maybe we haven't had it so much on our content, but I've seen it on other people's content where someone will be like, oh, why can't you just enjoy a pint? Why do you have to do this? And you just think, you just...
You don't understand.
Yeah, you don't understand.
You don't understand, like, what my journey.
And I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Just as I thought everybody was the same as me.
Yeah.
I now realise, no, they're not.
Yeah.
The same as, like, you know, that's why I can't have... Because I think someone at work said it to me. It was like, alcohol just affects us both the same. It's just that I can go home. And I was like, no, it doesn't. Do you have a drink to relax? Yes. It's not the same. like the last thing I want to do if I was relaxing would be to have a drink.
Yeah.
It would be, I'd be like, right, I'm going to relax tonight, so I'm not going to have a drink.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm going to stay sober.
So, yeah, it's different. And I would continue, but I forgot what the question was.
I think you've answered the question,
right,
whatever the question was.
And then answered the question and then some. Typical.
So I thought we'd close today with drunken stories.
Oh, great, okay.
Because it felt only right to do that.
Yeah.
And more so, less for you. You shouldn't get this. We'll have to get one of your friends on because... Unless you want to actively share one of your worst drunken stories, which you're able to do.
I can't remember. There's so many.
But I was going. What's your favourite drunken story, either of ours or of mine?
My favourite is obviously one of yours. And I don't think I was even present, but I've heard the story that many times and it's that great.
Famous. It's folklore.
Oh, I knew this day would come.
Do you know the one?
I think I know.
I think even I know the one.
I even know the one, and I
know
there.
the one.
I
Does
know
it
the one.
involve somebody else's house?
Yes, yeah, but also Bethany's house.
My house, yeah.
Oh, right, go on, explain.
Here we go. Okay, so basically, so we were 17, 18, because we were going to an 18th birthday party. And we had a pre-drinks at our friend's house, Prinks, and basically, I think I had my usual half a bottle of vodka, as you do, but I also had, there was this blue liquid.
Blue liquid?
Around. This is the story, mate. So there was this blue liquid, and I thought, oh, it's like wicked, like, drink.
Yeah.
So I drank. So got very drunk. I'll tell you about the blue liquid later. And then we were getting cabs to the, what's it called? What was it called?
Happy Gatherings.
Happy Gatherings, yeah. For all the Roytonians that listen to this, you'll know what we're talking about. We were getting cabs, and then the cab didn't turn up for our cab, so we were like, oh, let's just walk. It's not that far. It's about a mile down the road. So there was about 4 of us, I think, walking down the road, and I was really drunk at this point, and we were heading past where I used to live, my old street, and I, in my drunken state, was like, let's go look at my old house. So ran, which was one of my favourite things to do when I was pissed. So I just ran down the street, ran to my house, and then didn't think it was enough to stand outside the house. So I knocked on the door. They opened the door. I ran inside the house, upstairs, apparently shouted in the child's bedroom, why are you in my bed? They eventually, I don't remember this, by the way, this has all been retold, but they got me out of the house, thankfully. And this is where it gets really dark, I think. So, like, they got... Not that that's not bad enough. So I got out of this random person's house. And then they rang my mum. My mum turns up, and bless her, I'm like, you're not my mum. Like, who are you? Like, I was gone. Like, properly gone. My mum gets me in the car. And then, next thing I know, I wake up in the morning. I can smell sick. Like, you know, when it's, like, in your hair left over. And I was supposed to be staying at my mate's house that night, and I was like, why am I here? So I pick up the phone and ring David White, and was like, why am I at home? And he's like, do you actually not remember any of it? And I was like, no. So he retells me that whole story, and then says, do you know who lives at the house, Beth? And I was like, no, who? And he's like, Miss Singleton. So our science teacher...
Of all the people.
In sixth form, in school, science teacher. So not only did I have to go through the whole trauma of it, I then have to go to sixth form on the Monday. I get pulled into the head teacher's office. Have to sit down and go through the whole trauma of it again by my headmaster. and have to then go and apologise to the class. Well, to Miss Singleton in front of the whole class. Yeah.
It's a goodie.
So don't drink, kids.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, of all the things,
yeah.
I mean, you know what? I actually look back on that now, and I'm very thankful that it was Miss Singleton, because if that wasn't someone that we actually knew, I would have definitely gone.
Probably would have called the police.
Yeah, they would have called the police. Ran into the
bedroom.
house, into the child's bedroom.
You broke into someone's house.
I essentially broke into
their child to get
verbally
out of
assaulted
bed.
the child.
Yeah.
Yeah, pushed
Yeah.
past.
Assault.
Like,
Wow.
bad. Like, so,
Yeah.
you know, thank you, Miss Singleton, who now lives next door to our friend. If you ever listen
She
to this.
does, yeah. She's still part of the crew.
Obviously, I was a young person who made very bad decisions. But, yeah, like, I'm genuinely thankful that it was her in the end, because I think it would have actually gone a very different way. And apologies to my mum, who also will never listen to this, but you know. I am sorry, Mum, you are my mum and you're wonderful.
Nice.
But yeah, that was
That is a
beauty.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat.
That is a lesson, isn't it?
That is
That is a
definitely a
lesson.
lesson.
Can't stop that. Well,
Yeah.
I can.
And the other ones when I threw up on you, Rudolph.
Yeah. I think I was looking after you all night as usual. And I got you home in the taxi eventually. And you were sick all over.
I fell asleep in a bed, and we had this massive Rudolph that was like, it was huge.
Yeah, it was very
And you
big.
would
I got it
always-
from
you put it-
Aldi Middle Aisle, I think.
Yeah, and you put it in the middle of us when we sleep, and then I fell asleep, and then all of a sudden just got up and was sick everywhere, weren't I? Your mum had to come and get me.
I went in, I was like, Mum, Beth's been sick. She's like, for God's sake, Bethany. And my mum came and like put you in new pyjamas and stuff.
Got me in the shower, got the beans out of my hair.
Yeah, it was beans.
It was beans. It was sticky beans.
That was your 30th, wasn't it?
No, no, I don't think we were younger then. That was quite
we
young.
were.
That
I
was
think we were. Well, I was still at my old house, so
Rudolph is
in the bin now.
no more.
Yeah,
Definitely got rid of
did not
Rudolph.
last the night. We've had some good ones, haven't we?
We have.
But new times now.
Yeah.
More karaoke,
More
Yeah.
just
karaoke.
less beans.
Let's be sick on people's teddies.
Amazing.
So how do you want to...
I think that. Thank you so much.
That's okay, guys.
We hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think that's been my best episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
You
that.
reckon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was lovely.
You're gonna have more guests then?
Yeah, it's made me like
Has it got
definitely
you more
eager
Ready
to
and
have guests
comfortable
on.
with guests.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
probably
do it
not.
again.
Like, you know, I'll probably have to get drunk. But we'll see. We'll get there.
Well, do you know what
Yeah.
we should do? I'm just putting you forward for this. Let's do one after Kendall.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you can come back.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Part
Yeah.
two.
Do that.
Oh my god, we actually
That
could do
would
that.
And just
That would
discuss
be
how it
interesting.
went.
You
Yeah,
can tell
your
us
side
what we
versus
did
mine.
at Kendall. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Nice. All right, we'll bring back part
We
2.
can do that. We can
Coming
do that.
soon.
The Kendall Diaries.
We can
Yeah.
still be wearing our Kendall fancy dress.
Yeah.
Whatever we go.
I don't like the theme for that,
No.
by the way. It's a bit rubbish, innit?
Yeah.
It's very,
Sorry, Kendall.
I don't get
But
it.
It's very...
it's a lot. It's like
not specific
celebrations.
enough.
It's just loads of different celebrations, like Christmas,
Halloween,
Halloween,
Christmas.
any form of
Birthday,
celebration.
wedding.
Funeral.
It's just very.
It's not very cohesive, is
No.
it?
No.
I want everyone to be
It's going to be
dressed the
quite
same.
chaos.
It
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. But thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
You're
for
Say
having
welcome.
us.
bye.
Bye! Thanks for having us!
Bye.
Dry Waffle.